Today's video is brought to you by Sound Results Entertainment. If you're in the central Pennsylvania area and you need a wedding DJ or somebody that will plan your event, make sure to check these guys out. Their website is soundresultsentertainment.com. All right, on to the video. Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars, and I got a pretty cool tiny little car here. Now this is a 1994 JDM, meaning Japanese domestic market. This is a car that was built in Japan, but it is obviously a classic look of a Mini Cooper, you know, from the 50s in the English countryside. But this is a 1994 Mini built by a company called Rover. It was then imported over here to the United States by a company in Virginia that we can't quite figure the name, but I will flash it on the screen right here. But this is a classic Mini. Now this has a 1.3 liter four-cylinder. It's naturally aspirated. It has about 52 horsepower, maybe about 67 foot-pounds of torque, but that doesn't matter. It's a classic Mini. It has all the, proportions of a Mini. Now, when I was doing my research for this car, I found that the engineers for Mini way back in the day in the 50s, in England, they said, hey, build a car that will fit in a box that is 10 feet long and 4 feet tall and 4 feet wide. Now this car is exactly 120 inches long, 10 feet long, and it's a little bit bigger than 4 feet. It's like 4'3", 4'5" as far as the width and the height, but it is small. Now, my buddy and I just went to Germany, and over there we saw all these tiny little hatches and wagons. Americans will see this car and think, oh, it's so small, but back in the 80s and 90s of England, this was a typical family car for all these small cobblestone roads. But we're gonna get this out on the road, and this is a right-hand drive manual transmission. It's a 4-speed manual. So let's take a look at the classic Rover Mini. Alright, so here it is in all its glory. Now this is, designed to look like the Minis of the 50s. Now, once I do a different view, but I mean, this is so small and adorable. And my buddy just told me that these are 10-inch rims, which are very sought after in the Mini community. Some of the models, I think I saw when I was doing my research, a model that was a 96 had the side mirrors up on the A-pillar right there, but these are down on the front fender right there. But yeah, it has all the classic, proportions of an old school Mini. It is so low to the ground. We just drove it over here from my house, and you basically feel like you're standing or sitting on the ground. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than let's just open the trunk real quick. And he's got a 10-inch sub in here. It sounds so good, has it done right. My buddy here works in the sound department. One thing I will say, if you know, you know. But yeah, this is a really cool car, and this is actually for sale. I will put maybe some sort of link on the screen here, but this car is for sale. There is the classic Mini badge right there. I mean, the other thing my buddy said is this just gets so much attention on the road. People swerve out of the lane just to take a picture or hanging out their car to take pictures of it. But it is just so cool and classically British. My buddy that owns this is British himself, so very, very cool. So let's take a look at the engine. All right, so here's the engine. Now it is a 1275 cc, would round it up to a 1.3 liter four-cylinder. Now a couple things to note is that this being in 94, it does have air conditioning, and it does have a side-mounted radiator. Normally they're, all across the front of cars, but this says GemmyD made in Japan. It's just funny that it's a British car that was made in Japan and now imported over to the US, so it's been all over the place. But yeah, a 1.3 liter, you're not going to break any type of records for speed. I think I read that the 0 to 60 is like close to 14 seconds, but you want this car for handling. That's what Minis were originally made for back in the 50s, is British rally races. Small, short wheelbase, the wheels pushed all the way out to the edges, that's what you're gonna have for a rally car. So let's take a look at the interior. Okay, so we're gonna look at the interior. I'm gonna go down real low. Now this is the other thing I noticed. Okay, here it is. This is a 4-speed manual, right-hand drive, classic steering wheel. The bottom of this is way closer to you than the front is, but this is in kilometers. That is the engine right there. Now we do have a decent sound system that the owner put in here, but this is there's not much to it really. It's just pretty cool. All right, so you got your parking brake in the middle. And oh, what is this in the back right there? Oh, it's just a Best in Show trophy. Huh, little Minnie is getting rewards out here. So there is 2 seats in the back. I don't know if I'm gonna try to get back there, but there is some speakers on the back deck lid right there. But this is really decent quality. This is nice leather seats all around with the piping you see. This is super nice. And it does have some dark tint, which the owner did not put on here, but I don't know what I was expecting, but this interior is definitely nicer than I thought it would be. Some really cool carpet mats right there. Oh, yeah, this is it. Have a nice little view ahead of you. I said to my buddy, he's British, and I said, what was it like driving on the right hand for the first time? He's like, oh, well, I did it when I was like 14 years old. So there's me being a dumb American, you know, assuming. But yeah, this is it. I mean, if I'm 6 feet tall, you can fit the pedals there. That pedal box is pretty tight down there, I will say. So we're gonna get to try that out. But yeah, this is it. This is a classic Mini. I really enjoyed this shift knob, and he said it's a short throw shifter as well. And I mentioned before, this one does have the air conditioning. But this is it. All right, just to wrap up, this was a quick walk around of a 1994 JDM Rover Mini. Now, my sister and I always bonded over Minis, and we always said, oh, one day if we could afford a classic Mini, that would be so much fun. But the Mini community is definitely strong over here. It's just different too. I mean, everybody over here in the States is like, oh, I'll get a Mustang or a Camaro or something and boost it. But this is just something different and cool. And my buddy that owns this says, people say, oh, that car should be in a museum. He just gets so many looks from kids and old people that run the gamut of people that, are into cars. But if I was in the market for a cool, fun, weekend car, this would definitely be on the short list. Now, this car is for sale. I will put the description, I'll flash it on the screen here and put it in the link below. But this car is just cool. There's no really other way to say it. I love the classic design. It's just would put a smile on your face for every single time you get in it. So now we're gonna get this out on the road and see what it's like to drive a right-hand drive car, which I never have done. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at GemmyD on Cars. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.